Do you know that anxious, secure individuals often struggle within their relationship because of their attachment style? Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's Dr. Nicole. Don't forget to subscribe. I want to talk about anxious attachment style and mastering the art of detachment so you can experience better relationships and also better well being. Okay. So, welcome. I'm so glad to have you again. Let's dig into it. Anxious, secure individuals have a strong sense of self awareness. But despite this self awareness, they often find themselves caught up in a web of overthinking, feeling a sense of emotional turbulence, and feeling unbalanced when it comes to relationships. See, they're trying to balance their need for being close, their need for closeness that we all have, with the importance of maintaining healthy boundaries. And that can be a real challenge for them because when the other person starts to establish boundaries, or even when they feel they need boundaries, they start to be afraid. They feel like they're going to be abandoned, neglected, not paid attention to. So the anxious attachment style, we all know that there's anxious, there's avoidant, there's secure. The anxious avoidant attachment style is really characterized by this fear of abandonment. And it's like a constant need for reassurance. Even though you might have had it a day ago, a week ago, a few minutes ago, right? There's a constant need to keep the reassurance flowing and coming. And this can lead to challenges within a relationship, especially a long term relationship. Because if you're constantly seeking validation, it can make you feel constantly like you're not getting it. So you're constantly like almost in a state of fight or flight. Your needs aren't being met. And you feel a lot of uncertainty. And it also can push the other person away, especially if they are an avoidant attachment style, right? So usually those two attract, right? There's this kind of combination of the anxious and avoidant partner, and the more the anxious partner wants to be close, the avoidant is pulling away, which makes them feel more uh, abandoned, more neglected, and then they try to get closer, and that makes the avoidant feel more smothered, more like, like they can't take it, and then they pull away, and it's this back and forth. So for anxious attached people, it's this seeking validation constantly, excessively. It leads to feeling overwhelmed by feelings of uncertainty because you're looking for every sign that you're not getting the validation and the reassurance. And so this pattern is like a back and forth. It can be really draining. It can be really, it can just draw on your emotional well being. We're not even talking about the relationship, right? Because so much of what happens in the relationship really falls back on your emotional well being. But here's the game changer for the anxious attached individual. There's a game changer, right? It's a little bit different for the avoidant, but for the anxious attached, the game changer is really mastering the art of detachment. The art of detachment is key, right? It's by learning to let go of that need. So, first, you have to be aware of it and then let go of that need for constant validation and really embracing self soothing techniques, your own calming techniques, your own self soothing techniques. This can help you to reclaim your power if you are an anxiously attached person, because you have to start to learn that all of the validation in the world is not going to make you feel satisfied and fulfilled. You have to learn to really tap into that within yourself, right? That's the key. And that's where the detachment comes in. If you detached from the need to get external, someone outside of you or something outside of you, if you detach from that need, that takes you out of little girl mode where you're constantly thinking, like, I need mommy and daddy, or I need some adult to tell me I'm okay. And it's really reclaiming your power for you to know that you're the one that gets to say you're okay, that you're the one that gets to say you're worthy, you're valuable, and so forth, right? And so these self soothing techniques, things like breath work, things like learning to use meditation, learning to take time to be in silence and really understand, like take note of and observe your feelings. Things like doing body scans where you're really monitoring and noticing what you're feeling in each part of your body from head to toe. These are soothing techniques that help to calm that feeling inside that the anxiously attached person is used to going outside of themselves to quell or decrease those feelings. The key is learning to decrease that anxiety and those feelings from within so you're not constantly going outside. And this is also a way to help you have healthier boundaries in your relationship. See, boundaries are not just about telling people no and this, that, and the other. It's really about having a separation, which is healthy, which we all need in our relationship. So if you have a conflict or a fight or a disagreement and you feel like um, you're constantly meeting your partner right now, he has to talk to you, he has to help you resolve it, he has to help you calm your feelings. That's not having healthy boundaries because you're always putting the responsibility outside of yourself and on someone else to help resolve these feelings. So, what are some ways that you can actually start to practice the detachment? One is being aware, right? You're already probably self aware as an anxiously attached person, but be aware of when you're getting triggered, when your abandonment fears are being triggered. And ask yourself, is this real or is this a feeling or an emotion I'm having because I have the need to be validated or reassured? So that's when you have to pause, and that's when you have to stop and say that, hey, this is a fear, an abandonment fear. It's not real. It doesn't mean I'm really going to be abandoned, right? You have to recognize that and pause so that you don't go back into the old pattern, which is doing things, either asking directly, being passive aggressive, or being mad or shutting down because you are looking for that validation. And then once you recognize that's what's happening and you pause and you stop, then you have to go into the self-soothing techniques. It could be as simple as 30 seconds of breath work to recenter yourself. It could be as simple as sitting back and closing your eyes and really acknowledging what you feel so that it doesn't take power or hold over you. It could also be affirmations that tell you, where you tell yourself that you don't need your value or your validation doesn't come from somebody outside of you. That part of what makes your relationship healthy and strong is that there's two people with their own sense of self, right? So that helps you to get into the idea or the routine of validating yourself. Simply saying, I am enough. I am enough, right? That affirmation is so simple, but it's what you need to reassure yourself that you don't have to get validation from outside. And then ultimately, it's really being mindful and aware of your own boundaries and the importance of, while you're connected and you want to be close to someone else, all relationships thrive on a certain degree of separation. You don't want to be enmeshed so tightly knit that you don't know where you stop and he ends and where you begin and where he ends, right? Or vice versa. You need to have healthy emotional boundaries. You need to have a healthy sense of being your own person so that you all can then have, communicate in a healthy way, be together, but ultimately know that your well being comes from within. Okay. So it's really mastering the art of detachment that's going to take you to that more balanced place within your relationship. So, in summary, I want you to walk away knowing that detachment, it might not, that word doesn't always bring to mind like necessarily positive images, but it really is positive when it comes to an anxiously detached person. So, mastering detachment will empower you as an anxiously attached person to cultivate healthy relationships and prioritize your well being. And the other thing is, when we are usually in that place of looking for constant validation, there's something that has happened that has taken us off balance to where we have stopped paying attention to and prioritizing our well being. Maybe in the effort to get validation, we're overextending ourselves. We're putting too much on our plates. We're getting into proving mode or trying to do the most. And so that's a sign right there that you need to practice detachment and self-soothing and self-validation. So overall, this is a journey of self-discovery where you get to tap into healthier validation, healthier boundaries within your relationship and within yourself. And this is going to give you more peace of mind and a better relationship, especially if you're with an avoidant type of attached person. The more you're in your relaxed state and not triggered into thinking everything is about abandonment, the more that they are going to feel safe enough to come towards you, which is then going to give you all of those warm fuzzies and feeling good about yourself as well. Okay? So the key is detachment and knowing your attachment style. If you don't know it already, make sure you take the quiz down in the show notes and you read some of the materials that will help you to better understand your attachment style. Okay? Thank you for joining. It's Dr. Nicole. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notifications bell, like, and share the video. Take care. See you next time.